recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zakia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with Christopher Hollister. Hello, Chris.
Holy crap. Every time I get out, you bring me back in. It is awfully
really
good to be
did.
back on the show. This time you absolutely did, but that's okay.
Absolutely
it's been a
did.
while since I've been back on. It's nice to be back and with some friends. So I appreciate you setting this up for me because I get to hang out with people that I love today. So this is great.
We get to hang out with people we love too.
And people that I love and Nick. Sorry, I forgot to say that part.
Coming in hot. Speaking of Nick Groves is here.
Hey,
Hello,
Jonathan, how you doing?
Doing great. I couldn't put you first today. There was no question.
Oh, no. I was literally just going to say, the only time where it's acceptable to make me number 2 is when Chris is number 1.
You're always number 2, Nick.
I totally agree to that.
You're always number 2.
And not last. Guys, I got to tell you, my brain has been on the fritz this morning. I have said some really dumb stuff, so just bear with me.
That's fantastic.
We are also joined today by Carmela Smith. Hello, Carmela.
Hello, everyone.
Guys, this is the first time that we've been on a recording together in a while. Before I bring the guest in, it's good to see y'all. It's absolutely good. And just so you know, I had a tooth extraction and a bone graft yesterday, so I'm doing really damn good for what I had to go through yesterday.
I was going to say, are you on happy meds too?
No, I'm on ibuprofen.
Oh my God!
Yay me!
Why does your dentist hate you? Is my question now.
Yeah, I have a dental surgery follow up in a couple weeks, so.
He did throw in a $1,500 procedure for free though, so that was nice.
Sweet.
I was like, yeah, let me just do this little thing over here, so when you get a crown on this other tooth, it'll be easier for him. I'm like, thanks. Then I look at it. Jesus, that was $1,500.
Yeah, I actually just had a tooth extracted in September, so I just got my implant last week, so I know the pain, Jonathan.
Yep, I'm going in that direction. Speaking just now, Matthew Livingstone is with us today. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for having me back on the show. Good to see you, Chris and Carmela and Nick.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, sir.
And my man, you are the guest today. So tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
So I'm Matthew Livingstone. I live in Fort McMurray, Alberta. So when we used to have the map, I was that guy that was like way up in the middle of nowhere in Canada.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes. Yeah, 16 hours from Winnipeg driving.
Yes.
Because you...
Yes. Your closest other person was David Kendall, who was 16 hours away.
Yeah.
My God, Matthew, you live second star on the right and straight on till morning.
You bet your ass I do.
Jonathan, I just want to confirm, we still get a full point for every point that they get, right? It's not like
you get
75
a
cents
point.
of a point.
You get a Canadian point.
I was going to say we only get 0.7 of a point, Nick.
Right, yeah.
Oh, you're just so loony.
I am a safety advisor for a hydrovac company, so I've recently changed jobs. For those that don't know what a hydrovac is, we actually dig holes with water. So we expose underground utilities and pipes with high pressure water, which is really, really neat, actually.
That's neat.
Yeah, and fun fact about myself is I just started my own trivia podcast. It's called Bathroom Break Trivia. It airs every Sunday at 5 o'clock. It's available on most podcatchers. So its nice thing is that they're usually like under 10 minutes. So go take a listen. Let me know what you think, because I'm always up for feedback. And I've actually gotten all the games written for the rest of the year. I just have to do some recording. So I'm really looking forward. Yeah.
I really and truly thought he was going to say, so go take a leak and a listen. And
new catchphrase.
That's a great
That's a CAG line right there.
You can have that for free.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I will be putting that into the next podcast.
That's Bathroom Break Trivia Podcast. Very cool. Congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you. I'm very, very excited.
It's awesome. Glad to hear it. Guys, we're going to have a fantastic game today. We're going to do it right now with Warm It Up Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
Hosted by Chris!
Man, I tell you what, it's good to be back in the seat. I'm actually starting to host trivia, which Jonathan and Carmela. I don't know if you've come out yet or not on it, but
no,
I know your amazing partner Waco has, and I appreciate that. But I say all that just to say, right before I start the whole thing, I play "Warm It Up, Chris" by Chris Cross because I am allowed to, unlike on the show here, even though somebody wrote an amazing song for us. So there is that. So
right,
Matthew Stevens.
So it was funny because I was talking to our buddy Scott Barber the other day, and we were looking at
shout out to Scott.
What Sunday this episode was going to come out. It looks like this episode is going to come out on St. Patrick's Day on the 17th of March. Ooh. And so I was like, you know what? That could be a heck of a Warm It Up Chris question. So today's question is saint or no saint. I will give you a saint's name, and I want you to tell me if they're a canonical saint or not. Meaning, are they legit, or are they a fake or legend?
Sure.
All right.
Great question.
And Carmela, you get to go first.
Well, let's hope my lapsed Catholic ass remembers some of these.
There you go. All right. And yours, the first is Saint Anthony of Padua, Padua.
That is a saint. That's the saint my brother is named after.
And you are 100% correct. Well done. He is the patron saint of lost things, travelers, and the poor. He's also the patron saint of Portugal.
All right, I think you mean the Portugal.
Remember how you were saying earlier that you've been saying things that you regret saying? That should be one of them. You should regret that.
The Portugal. Okay, fair enough.
Dad jokes.
No, he means me, Chris. He's talking to me.
I think everybody's talking to me, so what can I say? So next one, Nick, you're up, and you're going to be Saint Christopher.
Saint Christopher, absolutely. Yeah, that's a patron saint of police, I believe.
He is he is the patron saint of police. However, the person himself does not actually. There is no historical evidence of a Saint Christopher.
So he's fake,
and so he is technically a legend. He is a saint legend. So he is not a canonical saint. So
really,
got him.
Oh,
it's canon, not canon.
Got it.
Sorry, canon. It's not canonical. I thought it was canonical. Okay,
canonical's right.
All right.
I'm making a fandom joke. Continue.
Fair enough. All right. Anyway, so I'm sorry, Nick. That is incorrect. Jonathan, you're up next, and it is Saint Augustine of Hippo.
Saint Augusta of Hippo. Spell Hippo. Hyppo?
Hippo.
Fake.
That is absolutely real. He is the patron saint of theologians, brewers, and printers. So
if it was Hyppo, I would have said real.
Fair enough. So next, Matthew, you're up, sir. And you've got Saint Catherine of Siena. Saint Catherine of Siena.
I want to say that the saint is a saint.
She is a saint, correct. She's the patron saint of nurses, firefighters, and Italy. The whole saint of Italy. So there you go. So well done, sir.
I just want to make a correction. So Saint Christopher is actually the patron saint of travelers. Just so, because I know you guys are going to get the notes on that.
That's true. But what we're talking about is
there's no person.
There is no actual person.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right. So we technically don't know who was actually sainted of Christopher, because I deep dived into this since I was like, I have a St. Christopher medal. I have a St. Christopher keychain, for goodness sakes. And then to find out that I'm not sainted, I'm a little frustrated. So I think I should be the patron saint of trivia.
Literally nobody's going to argue.
Yeah.
Seconded.
There you go. And I could just walk around going, or going, she blinded me with science. Anyway, all right.
Put that theology degree to use.
It's not blasphemy at all.
For those who are offended, I apologize. In my head, it was funny. All right. So, Carmela, you're up next, and you are Saint Wilgefortis, and it's Wilgefortis, the Bearded.
Well, I'm out of brothers to be named after saints. It'd be hilarious if it was real. It sounds like something out of a Tolkien novel. Real.
I'm sorry, she is fake. She is the legendary female saint who supposedly grew a beard to avoid marriage. So there you go.
I can't blame her, honestly.
I tried it, didn't work.
All right, so Nick, you get Saint Drogo, Drogo, and Drogo was his name-o.
Saint Drogo, like Game of Thrones, Saint Drogo. I'm gonna say fake because that's the Khal in Game of Thrones.
It is 100% fake. Well done. And Saint Drogo was actually, there's unclear of the historical records of this particular one, and so he is a legend. So well done on that. Next, Jonathan, you get Saint Francis of Assisi.
You got me worried with St. Christopher being out. I'm going to say real.
He is 100% real.
I'm pretty sure St. Francis.
Yes.
Was
my personal, honest to God, my personal favorite theologian of all time, but patron saint of animals, the environment, and Italy. So there's two patron saints of Italy. So go figure.
Well, it is where they grow the Catholics. So
Right. That's true. Yeah.
True. Do you have trading cards, Chris?
Say that again?
Do you have trading cards?
I do not have trading cards.
You should.
Definitely. I should. I will look and see if I can find some.
You should create them and become the patron saint of trading cards.
And trivia. You can be more than one thing.
That's right. In Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah. The fourth one.
Even though I've never been to Italy before, but that's all right. All right, Matthew, you get Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas.
Oh no! I want to
say real or a fake person.
I think there really was a Saint Nicholas.
Unfortunately, he is of legend.
Oh.
Saint Nicholas was a historical figure. However, there's legendary stories around them, but there's not one specific Saint Nicholas.
There's the Greek Saint Nicholas, Saint Nicholas of Myra, I think.
Okay.
Is that talking about Catholic saints or Orthodox Greek saints?
Isn't I think I don't know. I thought that he was named after the Greek.
I will look on that. This is one of the reasons why I decided to do this instead of a regular question, because if the history.com and the couple other sources that I said are completely wrong, you guys that are listening, I'm sorry. I blew it. There you go. All right. So
I mean that just happens to be the one that I know something about. For obvious reasons.
Fair enough. All right. So how about we do one more round and then we'll get into some actual trivia. Will that work for y'all?
100%.
Absolutely.
All right. Fantastic. So Carmela, you get St. Thomas Aquinas.
Pretty sure they sainted that guy. I mean, he's a real guy.
That was hilarious how you phrased it. So, all right. So what's your answer?
Yeah, he's real.
He is 100% real. Well done.
Yeah, he met Dante in the Inferno.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right.
It was hot there.
Mm-hmm. It's the hottest place in town.
Nick, over to you, sir. You get St. Valentine.
I'm going to say real.
St. Valentine is of legend. As of legend. The name is there, but there is no historical basis for the person itself. I'm terribly sorry, my man.
Are you? It doesn't seem like you are.
Okay. How about this? I'm a little bit sorry.
That makes more sense. That matches the expression on your face.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. All right. So next, Jonathan, you get Saint Therese of Lisieux. Lisieux.
Sounds French. I don't think you would have made this one up. I'm going to say real.
It is 100% real. Well done, sir. Yes.
Woo.
She is also known as the Saint of Little Flowers. She's a saint of patron saint of missionaries, florists, and the sick.
Is there a patron saint of big flowers?
I also thought you said patron saint of missionary with no S.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, okay.
Hey, the Catholics, I can totally see it. So there you go. Again, if I've offended anybody, I'm very sorry about that. All right, Matthew, for the last one, you get Saint Joan of Arc. We know she was historical, but was she a saint?
I would think not.
She is a saint. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Yes, she is the patron saint of France, soldiers, and captives.
How dare you disrespect the name of Mrs. of Arc?
Yeah. Carmela, in things that are blank, we have a category. It's everything to do with Mother Teresa. It's all things describing Mother Teresa. And the category name is missionary position.
Wow. I don't know how to react to that answer.
It's accurate.
That was your warming up Chris question of the episode. So thank you, me, for figuring that out. And for those, again, if I frustrate anybody, you know my email address because it's out there somewhere. So there you go.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Hey.
Thank you, Chris. Good job.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be episode number 470. That means we are on the main feed. Huge shout out and thank you to everyone who is listening. If you want more Trivial Warfare, you can find it at trivialwarfarearmy.com. Sign up as a sergeant or higher, and you will get access to all of our old episodes. Sign up as a lieutenant or higher, and you will start earning credit towards coming on to the show, which is a lot of fun, as Matthew can attest.
Absolutely.
One other thing, we are doing the prep work right now for our TWA Takeover event that is going to be in Denver, Colorado this year. Denver, Colorado, I believe. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the week is July 11th?
It's the 11th through the 14th.
July 11th through the 14th, Denver, Colorado. If you are not a member of the TWA, the Trivial Warfare Army Facebook group, hop on there. We're doing updates and whatnot on there. I will share updates here as well as they come out. But I wanted to let you guys know we were going to be there and hope to see you there.
And honestly, if you're somebody who listens to the show, but you're not part of the Facebook group and you don't really interact with anybody, allow me to tell you the story of Dean Bratton.
Oh, sure.
Dean came to the first ever takeover, which was in Jacksonville, right? It was 2 years ago in Jacksonville, 3 years ago. 2 years ago in Jacksonville. We did the first ever TWA takeover. We went down to Jacksonville. We had a great time. And there was a lot of people who knew each other. And I was there. And obviously Chris and Carmela and Ben and Jonathan were there. And we had a whole bunch of people that came out and we had a good time with it. And then this other guy showed up. Dean had got in his car in, I believe, El Paso, Texas. And driven the 18 hours to Jacksonville, Florida, essentially nonstop. He had never made a comment in the Facebook group. None of us had any idea who he was. He had never been on the show. I don't think he was a patron at the time. He was a nobody. He was nothing. Dean is the coolest guy ever.
Damn, dude.
No, I
don't think he's a nobody.
We didn't know him was what I was saying. And he is the coolest guy in the world. And he showed up not knowing anybody, not having made friends with anybody. And now when he announces that he's coming to these things and he's on the podcasts, we celebrate him as being the awesome person that he is. So if you are listening to the show and you're like, I don't really know anybody and I don't really talk to anybody, doesn't matter. Come out. You're awesome. We'd love to have you.
That's how it goes right there. Hope to see you in Denver.
Well said. I thought he was going to lose the landing, but he kind of stuck it.
I faltered in the middle there. Yeah, no,
I'm gonna give him a 9.5. 9.5
Nick has
on
a
that,
hard time giving a compliment while not also insulting the person. So sometimes the insult just slips in there while he's saying something nice. That's fantastic. Exactly right. So I hope to see you in Denver this year, and we're going to get this game started right now. The matchup is Jonathan and Carmela versus Nick and Matthew. Chris is hosting, and it's time to play the game. Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
So, are you guys ready to kick this pig off?
Absolutely. That poor pig.
I know, right? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. You're right. Let's kick it. All right.
So, next podcast.
Round 1, question 1. Your category is in music, or as I like to call it, music. And the author of this question is me, Chris Hollister. So there you go. And do not worry, I'm not going to do that every single one, but it was just, you're very welcome, Nick. Yeah, there you go. All right, so your first question is this. The Queen of Pop is associated with what musical artist who released her first album in 1983?
So you're looking for the artist?
I'm looking for the artist.
Which royal line did this person descend down?
Okay.
She was a Habsburg.
It's the Habsburgs, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I asked a question about the Carolingians last game, and so I was just wondering where she fell.
She's got some of the Saxe-Coburg-Gotha in her, though.
All right, so Nick and Matthew are locked in. So,
we sure are.
So Carmela and Jonathan, you could talk it out.
Carmela, we're thinking the same thing. You said Madonna. I'm thinking Madonna. I think she's been called the Queen of Pop back when they used to call Michael Jackson the King of Pop. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's stuck. That's the only reason I hesitated. I don't know if that was just a thing that people said at the time and if there's really somebody else, but I have no problem answering it.
It's about right for her debut, too, because I think like a Virgin was 84. So I can't think of anybody else that it would be other than Madonna.
All right, we're saying Madonna.
And Matthew and Nick, what were you all thinking about?
I also thought exactly the same thing. It's I've heard her called the Queen of Pop in the past, and so we went with Madonna.
And your answer is, in fact, Madonna. Well done. Yes, first album came out in 1983. It was self-titled, ironically enough, Madonna. So there you go.
Elizabethan in her reign.
and may she reign for a long time. Yes, that's true. Hey, she could turn back time though.
Cher wasn't.
She could find a way. So
that's pretty good, Chris.
And your second question, the first round, the category is in science. And this question is brought to you by ChatGPT because Chris doesn't know how to write really good science questions. So let's see if our benevolent AI overlords are able to do that. Benevolent AI overlord asked this question: what gas do plants absorb during photosynthesis?
Yeah, I'm very confident in that.
Yeah, I mean, we both said the same thing, so.
Yep.
All right.
You said it fancy, though.
I did, because I'm a fancy lady.
Yeah, so my guess is carbon dioxide. I'm pretty sure that it takes the carbon dioxide, it transforms it into oxygen and releases it back into the atmosphere the exact same way that the lungs do it, except in reverse.
Yep. We suck in the oxygen and feed back carbon dioxide. They take the carbon dioxide, feed back oxygen. We farm them. They farm us. Everybody's happy.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. And Carmel and Jonathan.
I do enjoy being farmed.
Sometimes you got to pay extra for that, Jonathan.
You know, I can see Jonathan like just really liking a good hoe.
I was going with plow, but okay.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, you better be good or you get a good threshing.
Always with that wheat thresher. I said CO2, which apparently is a fancy way of saying carbon dioxide, not monoxide. It's completely different. But yeah, we said the same thing, carbon dioxide.
So both teams said carbon dioxide. Both teams are correct. Well done. Woo. Everybody's so happy.
There was much rejoicing.
Go sports. And your final question this round is, I was told there'd be no math. And the question is, what is the mathematical constant that represents the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter?
Yeah, Carmela,
Ooh.
Toot, I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, then we're locked in.
Nick and Matthew, are you guys locked in as well? Do you want to 3, 2, 1 this possibly, or do you want to talk about it?
Because he's looking for the constant.
All right, so the mathematical constant that represents the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. I agree with you, Matthew. It almost has to be pi.
I would think so, because that's the only constant in when you're dealing with circles usually.
Right. So the formula for a circle's circumference is 2 pi r. So 2r, if we move it around, 2r is the diameter. So it's pi d, right? Is the circumference of a circle. So it has to be pi.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so.
Yeah. I didn't want to underthink it.
Yeah, but in doing so, you're almost overthinking.
I would rather overthink it than underthink it. There's almost no way to talk us out of it. But I wanted to make sure there wasn't something because we both got there so fast. We all got there so fast. Yeah. It's either a 3, 2, 1 situation, and I don't think I'm smart enough to be a part of one of those. So
give yourself some credit, Nick. Come on, I've listened to you play.
So we'll say pi.
Yep.
Okay. And Jonathan and Carmela.
It's got to be wide. They're round, right? We also said pi.
All right.
I may not be a mathematical expert, but I know pies.
Hey, you all spin me right round like a pie. Pie is correct. Well done. I have a book. Actually, I have a couple of them. That's the 7th Grader's Guide to Math. Because I'm trying to again. I'm trying to get
peaked at math, right?
Yes.
Right.
Well, shoot. Yeah. No, that was like 4th grade tops. Tops. All right. I had to bribe math teachers in order to just pass and get through the next one. So thank God for
it's hard.
Yes, mathing hurts my head. So thank God for Excel spreadsheets. Yeah. Maybe not Google Docs yet, but definitely Excel spreadsheets.
I'm no mathemologist, but that's hard.
All right. So after round 1, I think probably pretty simple questions. Both teams are perfect so far with 30-30. Let's go into round 2. Question 1. It is in geography.
Geography.
And your question is, which African country is known as the Pearl of Africa? Uh-oh. Carmela's eyes just went like...
Yeah, it's because there's nothing in the question except for, do you know this? That's why she reacted that way. Like, oh no, do we know this?
Hey, at least I said what African country is the Pearl of Africa. I could have said what Asian country.
Right. Now it's only 1 of 52.
Yeah, I'm okay to lock that in then, Nick.
Great. We're locked in.
All right, they're locked in.
Opa Blood Diamond style for sure.
Sorry, it's just you say Blood Diamond style. I'm like, okay.
So a pearl is like in the center of a clam, oyster, whatever the heck it is.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking. It was like, is it a place that exports a lot of pearls, or is it just like it's a pearl because it's in the middle?
The Central African Republic, or the what's the other one in there? The
DRC.
The DRC, exactly. One of those two could be the Pearl of Africa. Mm-hmm. A pearl is also a valuable thing, right? So it could be a place that exports a lot of pearls, or it could just be, hey, this is the place where all the money is.
Yeah,
or just a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Best parties.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, Addis Ababa is really pretty. That'd be Ethiopia.
South Africa might be it. There is mining operations there,
mm-hmm.
and it is very coastal, so very likely that they can produce a lot of pearls, just a guess. Lots of coastal, but that's one of them. But it's also like the kind of place that if places were being nicknamed by non-Africans, then South Africa might be the whitest thing in Africa, which is also pearl.
Pearls are white.
Uh-huh. So there's multiple.
I mean, not all pearls are, but I get where you're going.
There's multiple ways to get there, so it's not a terrible answer.
True. I mean, I've got no other way into it. South Africa is fine if that's what you want to go with, if that makes the most sense to you.
We can guess it. South Africa.
Okay. Matthew and Nick?
So, so I seem to recall this when researching Winston Churchill that he wrote a book about Africa, and in it, I believe he calls Uganda the Pearl of Africa. I believe the exact line is, Uganda really is or truly is the Pearl of Africa. So that's...
But why? Why would he say that?
I have no idea.
For what reason? I'm not saying it's not Uganda isn't great. I'm just like, but for why?
I have no idea.
Do you know how many countries, how long it would take me before I got to Uganda if it was just list African countries?
So, all right. So in 1908, to convey the beauty, variety, and natural wealth of the land, Winston Churchill named the Pearl of Africa to Uganda.
Well, beep.
Wow. Matthew, that was a strong
at least
pull.
an explanation as to why you said that specifically about Uganda. I'm like, what is it about Uganda that makes it Pearl?
Because of its beauty.
Yes, I had that. I had the flavor text there, and I was like, "Crap, Matt's going to blow my
He's
flavor
gonna
text
for
here."
you, yeah.
And okay, so you got me to the water, and I appreciate that, Matthew. Thank you.
Matthew, it's very important. We're not allowed to blow Chris's load, okay? You have to let him finish.
Did I really say that?
A little bit.
I don't know, but you came close. It sounded like it.
Holy Lord, I cannot believe I said okay.
You were close, but we edged you back. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is correct either, but I did read something about Uganda. Apparently, it's right on the equator, so you can actually stand in both hemispheres at the same time. So
that's cool.
It's kind of a neat. It's kind of
like the two hemispheres of an oyster.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Look, I'm trying to make it stick in my head. Okay.
So your next question in round 2 is in televisiones, or I like to call it television. All right. And the question is, Marcus Mumford wrote and performed the theme song for which Apple TV produced show?
Yes.
Okay.
I have watched.
Okay. I'm like 99% sure.
Perfect. Then we can lock it in.
We are locked in.
Okay.
Okay. Carmela, I am aware of a show that Mumford did the music for because I was surprised that he did the music for it.
Okay. Was it like Severance or something?
I have watched very few shows on Apple. Very few.
Any.
One of them is Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the answer. Because
Chris loves Ted Lasso.
I'm also struggling to think of another Apple TV show that I watched. Like Glow. Glow is on Netflix, right?
Yeah, Glow is Netflix. So things that are on Apple are like Severance, Ted Lasso, For All Mankind, stuff like that.
I didn't watch the psychiatrist one.
There's the Foundation series. It's probably Ted Lasso though, because Chris really loves Ted Lasso, so that would not surprise me.
I remember looking up because Ted Lasso's music, there's great songs interspersed in it. And there were multiple times where we would look, Sarah and I would look to see the music at the end of it. And I remember seeing credits where Mumford, I'm like, wait a minute, Mumford, is this Mumford and Sons Mumford?
Yeah.
So I think it's Ted Lasso.
Well, it's not my middle school gym coach, Mumford.
You assume.
I assume.
Mr. Mumford, can I have the basketball, please?
I'm sure he's doing great. Okay, yeah. Let's go with Ted Lasso.
Nick and Matthew. I say Nick first because he kind of circled around an answer fairly quickly.
Yeah, it might be all that you get. The correct answer is Ted Lasso. Yeah.
And I don't have Apple TV, so it makes it really easy for me.
It might be all that you get.
Bum, bum. And the answer is, in fact, my current favorite TV show that's out there. It is, in fact, Ted Lasso. Well done, both teams.
So good.
Yes. Nice. And I will tell you what, Apple is rapidly becoming one of those streaming services that I absolutely will watch something that comes out on it. They've got one, I think it's called Masters of Air, that's out right now, which is fantastic. And then also they have a train wreck waiting to happen with a show called Dynasty, which is about the New England Patriots. And I haven't watched it yet, but I hear that they kind of rip on them a bit, so I'm pretty excited about that part. I know. See, now you see why I mentioned this. Is just for Jonathan.
Schmigadoon is also amazing.
Oh, Schmigadoon is great.
I was not a Schmigadoon fan, and I am a musicals fan.
I can see why. I get it. I understand why you don't like it.
It is very silly, but it's fun and silly to me. All right. Your final question, round 2, is in movies.
Movies.
There you go. With a sequel coming out this year, which is 2024, just in case you guys are listening to it much later on.
It's 15 years from now.
There you go.
Or 200 years from now. If it's 200 years from now, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you.
That's right. Or time travel. Come back and say hi.
Yeah.
It's really awesome that you're in the future. We hope you have flying cars.
That's right. Yeah, 2000! Hey, all I know is this: Back to the Future Part 2 lied to me. Lied to me.
Lied to all of us, Chris.
Yes, exactly. Because where is Jaws 15 or whatever it was? Dang it. So the question again is, with the sequel coming out this year, 2024, what animated film series is the highest worldwide grossing franchise of all time? And just because I know it's a little wordy, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat for you guys.
Oh, well, we were both on the same page.
Yeah.
That's just a guess, by the way, Matt. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. It really is a good one. And I honestly don't know, Nick.
Beep my phone.
Oh dear.
I had to get a new one a couple weeks ago.
Mine is also new.
I did as well.
There you go. It's that time of year, Jonathan.
That's what I'd go with, Carmela.
Okay.
You want to lock in?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, gonna lock in.
So many options here.
And we're really no closer to an answer either.
I mean, the downside of this for me is that I've got a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, right? They're the perfect age for all of these animated movies. So it's I'm aware of all of the ones that are coming out. The issue is there are too many that are coming out at this point that could theoretically be the answer to hit it up. Like Kung Fu Panda 4 comes out here in a couple of weeks in 2024.
Yeah.
The second and the third, or the multiple of them have made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if there's not another like Despicable Me movie that's coming out this year. In fact, I think I saw it recently.
There is, yes. The Minions, I think.
Or another Minions movie. And that would be my answer, strictly because there's been like 4 Despicable Me movies and like another 2 or 3 Minions movies.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and 7 is greater than 4, therefore Despicable Me is higher grossing than Kung Fu Panda.
And I'm totally okay with that, because that makes a lot of sense to me, because I mean, you're right, the Minions movies are crazy, and I mean, people go and see them in theaters 2, 3, 4 times because they're just so good. So I'm totally okay with going with the Minions movie, or Despicable Me, or whatever that franchise Chris is may be looking for.
Banana.
The yellow things.
Yeah. So I think we'll go with, I mean, there's another like Inside Out coming out. Inside Out 2 is coming out this year. I think they announced Frozen 3 might be coming out this year. 3 Frozens in and of itself may be the highest grossing animated film of all time. But yeah, I think Despicable Me is our best bet.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
No, say thoughts. You had a thought. Say it out loud so that we don't lock in.
You're right, because Frozen was huge, and I think Frozen 2 was even bigger than Frozen 1. But
from a dollar amount, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's this is a good question, Chris.
Yeah, is there another?
I need an answer, folks.
Yeah, no, definitely Despicable Me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Carmela and Jonathan.
Yeah. So from my perspective, on the Frozen side, they seem like they were huge, but they're no bigger than Minions. They might have made a couple $100 million more than one of the Minions movie, but they're not outweighing that. If it wasn't, I asked for a quick clarification in the chat as to whether or not Minions and Despicable Me counted as one universe. Mm-hmm. As long as that was true, I wanted to go Minions. If it wasn't true, I would have pushed for Toy Story. I don't know if there's a Toy Story movie coming out or not, but they have 4 movies and they were all bangers. So we would have gone there, but because Despicable Me and Minions count as one, that's our answer.
This film has 5 films so far, grossing $4.6 billion worldwide. And it is, in fact, the Despicable Me franchise. Well done to both teams.
Excellent work.
Yes.
Good.
Never seen any of them. Woo!
Despicable Me 4 comes out later on this year. Yeah, and then just to let you know, The Lion King, the most recent release of The Lion King is considered the highest grossing animated film worldwide of all time, which is $1.6 billion. And then Frozen 2 is in second with 1.4. And that's the only reason why I mentioned it, is because you guys were talking about Frozen 2.
Right. So Frozen's got to be close to $3 billion just with the 2 movies.
Yeah, it's 1.4 billion, and then the original is almost 1.3 billion. So they're just cash cows.
Despicable Me has at least one of them that's over $1 billion. They're averaging 900 million. So 2 of them are $1 billion. 2
of them, yeah. Minions and Despicable Me 3, and then Despicable Me 2 was just under $1 billion. So I mean, And then oddly enough, the only different one that's in the whole top 10 that's not a sequel is the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So excellent. All right.
John Leguizamo was amazing in that.
Bob Hoskins was pretty good.
Bob Hoskins was great too.
Even though he died. Yes. All right,
the Weekend at Bernie's did. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'd probably be better than the original anyway.
All right.
My apologies to Mr. Hopkins and his family, or Hoskins' family.
After 2 rounds, Matthew and Nick have gained the lead with 60 to Carmela and Jonathan's 50. All right.
Uganda.
And
let's go Uganda. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Your round 3, question 1 is in cartoons. And the question is, in the Peanuts comic strip by Charles Schulz, what is the name of the character who has a deep love for food and is often seen with a cloud of dust following him?
I think I have Meow Meows on this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
I got to keep the camera closer. So, yeah, we can lock in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And they're locked in. So you guys, Carmel and Jonathan, you can talk it out.
Yeah, Chris is making me think about my brother a lot this episode.
Not intentionally.
No, it's because this is what my mom would say. Would call my brother this as a joke. But yeah, this is absolutely Pigpen.
Yep.
Sally is a weird nickname for your brother, but I get it.
Yeah.
No, I was the blonde in the family.
Yeah.
So their answer is Pigpen, Matthew and Nick.
Yeah, it was also Pigpen. I mean, you can't miss that character walking around with a little dust cloud following him.
And your answer is, in fact, Pigpen. Well done, both teams.
Hooray.
Yay.
All right. Your round 3, question 2 is in food and history.
Food and history.
And your question is, what tropical plant seed played a significant role in the global trade networks of the ancient world, was used as a form of currency, and was highly prized by civilizations such as the Aztecs and the Mayans?
So you want to go with my answer?
Sure, why not?
All right, we're locked in.
I mean, coconut, we consider it a fruit, but I think it's still a seed.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. To me, it is a seed, and a palm is a tropical plant for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. You also suggested nutmeg, which I wouldn't argue with if you feel strongly about. I can't see either of these being used as currency.
Well, I mean,
being valuable is not the same as being currency, you know?
Right. No, yeah, and that's why I'm kind of leaning away. Nutmeg was more colonial times, as far as when that people were really trying to get at nutmeg. Mm-hmm. But coconut, like I said, they float, so that's how they propagated so many places. So there would be a lot of it in which you can use it as currency.
Do you know why I like it as a currency?
Why is that?
Because coconuts aren't going to wither and disappear or rot like so many other seeds. Like when you think of any kind of seed, you can't just leave it out.
They're hardy.
Yeah, coconuts are solid. I think that makes it a really good answer.
Yeah. The only thing is that they'd be really big. But I'm also thinking of a modern sensibility for currency. I'm no, I'd want something I could put in my pocket. But, maybe they didn't have pockets.
Maybe they had giant wallets.
Maybe they did,
Yeah. They had the chain wallets, and they just chained up a bunch of coconuts and dragged it behind.
Yeah, with their Jinko jeans, just
exactly.
Which is the origin of the phrase "ball and chain."
Yeah, we can go with coconuts. I think that's a good answer. Even if it's not right, it's still a good answer.
All right, we're saying coconut.
So we threw around a couple of possible answers. We didn't really know, but we were thinking about the clue of tropical. We were trying to come up with tropical, plants and seeds, and the answer we ended up coming up with was kind of based on the region of the empires that used it. We went with cacao or chocolate. We thought that was a good answer.
That's a good answer. You know what else?
For
now
sure.
that I think about it. Regionally,
avocado.
It could be avocado.
Yeah.
That's not a bad answer either.
Yeah, I also need to thank Scott Barber for helping me wordsmith this question a little bit, because the way I had it originally phrased, it could have been one of 2 answers. We're not a fan of that here if we don't have to. It could have been salt. It was the way I originally worded it, and it was not salt. The answer I was looking for, based off the question that I asked, is cocoa beans.
Yeah,
cocoa beans.
Nice, Nick. Yeah,
nice work.
I'm really glad we went with that over barley.
Yeah, barley's not the most tropical of plants.
It is not.
But cacao definitely is.
Yeah. I love the idea of currency that degrades if you don't spend it. That's not a terrible plan to bring back.
In all fairness, our currency does degrade it sometimes upgrades, but a lot of times is degrading based upon how the other the euro and the pound and all that stuff goes.
I'm
So
just
in all
saying
fairness,
physically.
I hear you.
Yeah, the concept of hoarding wealth, if it degrades over time, seems like a really decent idea.
All right. So let's go to the final question of the third round, and it is a musical tribond question. A musical tribond question.
Music. 5 on 3. Part.
The bands Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Madness, and The Animals all had top 40 Billboard charted songs with the same word in the title. What common theme did these three bands sing about?
Holy crap.
You got it?
Not a clue. Trying to think of my Crosby, Stills, and Nash songs that I know.
Yeah, then I'm with you.
Yep, we can lock in.
Okay, fantastic.
The Animals, the one big song that I know of for the Animals is House of the Rising Sun. So
yeah.
Same word in the title. House or sun is a solid 50-50. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Southern Cross, Teach Your Children. I'm not pulling any houses or.
Didn't Crosby, Stills, and Nash do Our House?
No, Our House in the Middle of Our Street. That's not Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I don't.
No, but it might have been covered. I'm not sure.
Oh, possibly. What was the third band? Maybe Madness did Our House.
Yeah, maybe. I agree with you. It's got to be either House or Sun.
And if you think Our House was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and or maybe the other one, let's go with House and call it a day.
Sure, let's just go with House. It'll be less excruciating.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally my philosophy. It's a 50-50. We're either gonna get it or we're not, so we might as well go with it.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll lock in with House.
All right, Carmela and Jonathan.
Yeah. What's up,
I was
Carmela?
like, I knew those two. I just couldn't think of the Crosby, Stills, and Nash one.
Yeah, no. Our house. No, sorry. It's Our House is a very, very, very fine house.
Fine
That's
house.
the Crosby, Stills, and Nash song. The Middle of the Street song is Madness. And the
It
other
is
one
Madness.
Yeah.
is House of the Rising Sun.
All right. So the answer is House. Well done, both teams. So yes,
Yay.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash was Our House. Madnesses was Our House, but a completely different song, just same title. And then finally, the Animals did have, in fact, House of the Rising Sun.
I like that question a lot. That one was
That's
cool.
a good question.
That was a really good question.
Thank you. I love the Tribond questions. So as I always do in the third question of the third round. So there
Way
you go. There's
better
two
than
things.
the before and afters.
I'm not very good at writing those, so that's why I don't do them. So, but going into the midpoint or mid round or whatever we call it nowadays, Nick and Matthew are up 90 to Jonathan and Carmela's 70.
Nice.
90 and Carmela's 70. All right.
Ending the
I did a before and
Coconut.
after in that game. In the
Oh,
last game, I
okay.
did a before
That's
and
why
after.
Nick's throwing it at you. I got you.
No. Nick just hates before and afters. But
Okay.
the answer line was Carol Baskin Robbins.
That's awesome.
What makes
so good.
before and afters fun is the answer line.
Yes,
More than
absolutely.
anything else, it's just here's a
Oh, yeah.
good
How
tweak.
ridiculous.
Let's find a question.
Yeah, well, that's why I had hippopotamus-see TV. Because it's just funny.
That one I got.
All right. So your midpoint is in sports.
Sports, yay!
Hey, actually, fear not, Carmela, because this is actually a sport. This is actually a sport that you sometimes follow, or I think you still follow, as a matter of fact. Your question is, for 5 points each, I want you to name 4 out of the 5 men's top goal scorers in FIFA World Cup history.
Oh, Nick, I hope you've got some answers because I know nothing.
These are okay. These are all soccer players.
Okay.
let me. They are all definitely soccer players that I know are soccer players. Could not pick them out of a lineup.
Hey, I am totally okay with those.
Nick, why
Like I
did
say,
you write down LeBron James? Is my question.
LeBron James would be the single greatest goalie in the history of soccer if that's what he had grown up playing. That's 5 people that are definitely soccer players. You want 4 out of the 5?
Yes, I want 4
Can
out
we
of
go
5.
Roy Kent?
He was a defenseman. He wouldn't have been.
So
He would not have been on the list. Yeah.
whatever.
He's here.
So, yeah,
he's
you
there.
guys can
He's
go
every
with
effing where.
Right.
Roy Kent. Roy Kent.
I was going to say, you can go with whatever you want, Jonathan. If you want to go with Roy Kent, you fill your boots.
Don't let Carmela talk you out of a good answer, Jonathan.
You fill your boots. Okay.
All right, Chris.
Okay, y'all are locking. Well, you gave me 5 answers.
Not the bottom one. We'll go.
Oh.
We'll
Yeah,
go.
so we'll just
we'll
go
go
with
with
the first 4.
the 4 on the top because I know they're soccer players.
The top 4. Okay.
Not
So
the
not your
last
not your last answer.
Correct.
Correct.
So Carmel and Jonathan, you guys can talk it out if you'd like.
So, Carmela, there's no Americans, right? No Landon Donovans or anybody like that. There's not enough. They don't make it far enough into the tournaments to score the most.
No,
right?
I would have said Landon if he played in the 2018 World Cup, but he hasn't played for the Americans in a while.
Right. There was one other American that was big that I can't remember.
Oh, Clint. Something. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah. So I sent an immediate message saying Ronaldo, Pele, and Neymar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you. I feel pretty damn good about Pele and Ronaldo. I'm iffy on Neymar.
Yeah, that's where because I was writing down. I started off with Pele, Messi, Lionel Messi, and then I was going to pull up Cristiano Ronaldo. Neymar's the one I'm not very sure of.
And I asked you for Germans because the German teams have historically been strong.
Right.
Even though France has won, at least France has had a strong team the last 20 years or so.
They have. They've been doing really well these past couple, or especially these last few cups. But I can't think of any of their names off the top of my head. Mueller is a high scorer for the Germans.
Is he oldish or was he oldish? Somebody who was there for a long time is going to be the best bet. That's my problem with Neymar is he hasn't reached the end of his career yet.
Well, neither has Mueller. God, of course, now every name I've ever known has flown completely out of my head.
I understand.
Neymar was not bad, though. I mean, it's not a bad answer.
No, I mean, he played in the last 3, if not 4 World Cup.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He had a Netflix special about him.
True. I mean, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
30 seconds, y'all.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's go Messi, Pele, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Neymar.
Every time I hear Neymar, I keep going, Noma! Noma!
Neymar Garcia Parra!
Neymar! All right. Matthew and Jonathan, or Matthew and Nick, talk about it, please.
Cheers.
I was going to say a mid-game team switch.
Team switch, yeah. Where does the score go? That's the real question.
To me, it all goes to me.
Yeah. Carmela has 150. The 3 men have nothing.
It's called feminism.
Look it up.
Reparations.
So I just started naming big name soccer players that I've heard a lot about recently, and not recently meaning in the last decade, right? Because I'm getting old enough now that things that happened 5 years ago were really 20 years ago. So Ronaldo and Messi, we also said that. I went with Jonathan. You were looking for a German. There was Klose was the guy who's played.
Klose, that's what I was thinking.
Like he had like 5 goals per tournament for like the last 5 tournaments in a row.
Oh God, that's.
I would be shocked if he wasn't number 1 overall on the list because he had so many goals. And then the other one that popped into my head was Mbappe.
Hey, Nick, if he's not first, he's close.
He's close.
There's your show title.
That's the show title.
Yeah. Pretty damn good.
Right.
I will put that in the metadata right there.
Yeah. Although if it's right, it's an answer.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. And then the last one that I was thinking about was one that his name was everywhere during the last World Cup. It was Mbappe.
Oh, he does play for France.
Yeah, he plays for France, and I think he had 10 goals just in the last tournament. Like I don't think he's played in more than 1 or 2 tournaments, but I think he had 10 goals in the last tournament, and if he had anywhere near that in another one, it would be real close. So we went with Ronaldo, Messi, Klose, and the Hansen subject.
Okay.
Bop that CD into the garbage disposal.
In first place with 16 goals scored in FIFA World Cup history, Miroslav Klose, or Klose. Is it Klose? Okay, Miroslav Klose. And
as soon as you said it, I'm like, damn it, that's one of the other names I was trying to search for.
Yeah. He
Jonathan said
averaged.
it's come up with a German, and I'm like, that's probably a good idea. I did.
By the way, Germany makes it high all the way every time, and so that I figured they would have at least one.
By the way, close average 0.67 goals per match, which is just insane. And he was in four tournaments. The next one with 15 goals is Ronaldo from Brazil.
Oh, that Ronaldo. It's a different Ronaldo.
That's not Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's not Cristiano Ronaldo.
Beep. I should have thought of that because I was like, I feel like there's another Brazilian.
Yep.
And I was stuck without the name because we were talking about
Carmela.
the other Ronaldo.
I probably should have been clear on the first. Okay.
Cristiano is in Portugal.
But neither of y'all went with Ronaldo.
No, we went with that was ours. Yeah, ours was Ronaldo. That was the first answer.
Yeah, it's our first answer.
Yeah,
you spelled it wrong then, so there's that.
How did I?
You spelled it like the Argentinian.
You spelled it with an O. It's with an E. So anyway, but that's fine. I got you now. All right, I'm just making sure.
Is it?
Huh?
Yeah, I meant the Brazilian.
Yeah, you did. I'll give it to you, but it's not who you meant.
How do you spell? I'm looking him up.
It's Ronadlo.
You literally spelled it like the other one.
I spelled it Ronaldo.
In third place with 14 goals scored, Gerd Mueller. From that was Gerd Mueller. All right, and in fourth place, tied for fourth place, which makes fourth and fifth with 13 goals. You have Just Fontaine from France. He was in the 50s. Dude averaged 2.17 goals per match. That's nuts.
That's insane.
Yes. Oh, he was in one tournament, by the way, and had 13 goals. Everybody else was in 4 or a minimum of 2, if not 4 or 5.
He played in 6 games and scored 13 goals.
Yes.
That's insane.
And then finally, Lionel Messi from Argentina.
All right.
So we got one.
All right.
We got 3.
Yes, you guys. Yep. You got.
Where's
3.
Mbappe? Do you have where he is on the list?
Yep. Hold on. Give me. Yeah, I actually pulled it up for that. So Pele was in 6, just to let you know, with 12 goals scored. And Mbappe is. I had it right here. Oh, Mbappe is also tied with Pele with 12 goals scored. So they were just right outside the list.
1 goal short. Yeah.
We were in the right territory, Carmela. We just didn't.
We were.
Names. I mean,
I know that they don't mean the Brazilian Ronaldo. I know that for a fact, but they did say Ronaldo, and I did say Cristiano Ronaldo. So
you said Ronaldo. We spelled it right. I was thinking.
I forgot that there was. I forgot there was 2 of them.
I wish that I had said out loud, "Isn't there another Brazilian?" Because I felt like Neymar was trying to live up to another Brazilian who wasn't Pele.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of their name.
All right. So after the midpoint, Nick and Matthew have totally taken over first place. It's 105 to Carmela and Jonathan 75. Hey, it's 3 points.
No, you guys are doing great. No, for real, though.
I mean, they did have first place totally the whole time there. They didn't take it over. They didn't take anything over.
So after the midpoint, Matthew and Nick have 105, while Carmela and Jonathan are just behind them with 75 points.
You guys are doing awesome.
Woohoo!
All right, fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is round 4. It is the first question. If you've ever heard me host a show, you know what's up right now. It is time for Chris Destroys the Hit. Woo! So I am going to give you some information about a song, and I want you to tell me what the song title is. And, Jonathan, I figured out a bonus brigade question. So, bonus brigade! So for 2 points, I will, if you can, I want to know obviously I want to know the song title, but for 2 points, give me the artist. Okay? And so here is the question for everybody. Name this 1966 song that peaked at number 39 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, but that Rolling Stone magazine in 2004 named it number 25 on its 500 greatest songs of all time list by the following opening lyrics. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. All right, and so just for those, that's right. I almost did the Sesame Street theme song for this, but I couldn't figure out the wording for the first part. But anyway, so the lyrics, just in case you did not enjoy my horrible rap, it is: I may not always love you, but long as there's stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. And so again, I want the song title, and then for 2 points, give me the artist.
Yeah, okay. Hey, as soon as you gave me it was as soon as you gave me the song, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not right.
Yeah. The song is right though.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so we're locked in, Chris.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Carmela and Jonathan, you can talk it out.
Carmela, I think you're on the right track. Now that I think about it.
So you agree that it's a Beach Boys song?
Yeah. Like da 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 da. You know
but it
that
has
song?
to be like is that
da, 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 da. I may not always love you, but long
God
as there are
Only Knows?
stars above. It is God Only Knows What I Would Do Without You. That's the song.
Okay.
That's it.
Then yeah, let's go with God Only Knows by the Beach Boys.
Yep.
Okay. And Matthew and Nick.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I do without
you.
As the two amazing teams said it, yep, it is God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. Well done. So full points and bonus brigade points for both teams.
Yeah,
Not the Beatles, Nick. Not the Beatles.
No, yeah, that was the Chris posted it as he started reading it. He actually posted it to the chat. And I jumped down to the lyrics itself and read through the lyrics, and I'm like, oh, that's God Only Knows by the Beatles. And I just posted that before Chris even got to the singing his section. and Matt looked up at the screen, and he's like, I'm going to let him finish, but then we've got to talk some.
I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah.
Carmela, you were on it. How did you get to Beach Boys so fast?
Because it felt like this like 1966, okay, and then, it peaked at number 39. I was like, that kind of feels like Beach Boys. And then this definitely is not Beatles lyrics, but it was like, it could be Beach Boys lyrics.
Yeah, you said it, and I was like, I don't think so, because I was going through a bunch of them, like, no. But I didn't want to let it go. After I said no, I didn't let it go. And I was just like, there's a really soft, beautiful song that they did. Well, how did that go? And so I tried to find the tune of it, and that's when it's like, wait, this is a freaking Beach Boys song.
Yeah. I'm thrown by the fact that it's a big part of Love Actually. Mm-hmm. So I'm hearing it in the British accents, and that threw me.
Well, and also there's a TV show, I think it was Bill Pullman, maybe. No, not Bill Pullman, but Bill Paxton, called Big Love. And the series finale, Natalie Maines did a remake of this that is just absolutely beautiful. I love her version of the song. And so anyway, so yes, well done to both teams. I'm really super proud of y'all. I didn't realize I posted this so quickly after the midpoint, but here you go. Your question 2 in round 4 is in sports ball.
Sport.
And the question is, the game of Pona or Puna was created in the mid-19th century by the British, stop it, and was originally played with a woolen ball. What is the modern name of the sport that became a medal sport in the Olympics in 1992?
So do we've got meow meows or toot toots on that one, Nick, or?
That
I always have toot toots, by the way, even when I'm wrong.
Less cheese, Chris. Less cheese. I don't know about toot toots, but that's where I was going. The year seemed right. Yeah, I say it's a solid lock, but I don't think we need any accoutrement with it.
Yeah, so we're locked in. And speaking of toot toots, Ollie just came in beside me, and he's got them too.
All I know is Nick's got fancy words.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like it was mid-90s when Misty May and Carrie Walsh were doing their thing.
Sure.
And that was that means if they were Olympians at that point, 92 sounds right for the introduction of that. Of volleyball, and Puna sounds like a number of different things, but one of them is
like a tropical place,
kind of tropical beach. Yeah.
It would make sense for the British in the mid 19th century to do that. Yeah, I'm with you. Volleyball.
All right, we'll say it. Volleyball.
All right, Nick and Matthew.
So for some reason, this stuck in me. I don't know why, but I seem to recall it originally coming from, if I'm correct, it came from India. And it was brought by British Army officers, and it was eventually made into what we now call badminton.
I hate it when things get stuck in my Puna.
Well, La Puna Matata.
Well, Matthew Matthew stole my flavor text. It is badminton.
Wow.
I was never getting badminton. I thought badminton was played with a cock.
Shuttlecock. But it was originally Puna. It went from Puna to shuttlecock.
Good Lord.
Really did a big 180 there.
Oh, Coke Zero in the nose. Thanks, Carmela. That hurt.
You're welcome.
Dang
From
it, where are my
Puna to
tissues?
Shuttlecock is a good autobiography.
Yeah, no, that definitely threw me off.
I'm gonna keep a Puna Matata in my back pocket.
That's
Puna
a good
Matata is a
team name.
decent show title. Yeah.
That's a good team name.
Jonathan, next time you come out, that needs to be y'all's team name, please.
Really? I'm sure Sarah's going to love that.
Yeah, it seems like her.
No,
vibe.
babe.
All right.
We have to be Hakuna Matata. I said I
How
would.
about we do that? Fine. When we go to the pizza place, then.
Right.
All right, there you go.
All right. Okay. Your final question in round 4 is in geography.
Geography.
All right. Where did it go? Oh, come on. Where did it go? My whole internet just went down.
Funny. It is really funny that on a geography question, you're asking where did it go?
That's a tough one, Chris. We'll try to do our best to get through the clues you put in there.
Give me just a minute. I literally the internet thing just went down. And seriously, all my apologies for the delay on that. All right, so your question 3 in round 4 is in geography.
Geography.
And the question is, located in the Atlantic Ocean, what is the only sea without any coastlines?
Yeah. Hey,
okay.
Hey, Matt.
Okay.
I got meows on this one.
Perfect.
All right. Do you?
Yeah.
They locked in. Do you want a 3-2-1? This is my question.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if Carmela's okay with what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was like, I knew this once. Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay, good. Sure, we can 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Sargasso.
All right, Sargasso Sea is correct. Well done, both teams.
That's so cool. That's the first 3-2-1 I've been involved in my 3 games.
Woo.
I was just trying to think about this. I think this is my first ever game played with Chris hosting. I don't think I've ever played a Chris hosted game before.
Are you sure about that, Clark?
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
There is a fancy thing called the TW debrief. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but you could use that to find out.
After 4 rounds, Matthew and Nick have increased their lead with 137, but Carmela and Jonathan are at 97 and still anybody's game. We're going into round 5. Your round 5 question 1 is in music.
Music.
And the
Speaking
question
of Madonna?
That's right. And question is who composed the famous Four Seasons concertos? Who composed? Yeah. Oh, he's got the train going.
I have 2 toots. I'm going to type it for Carmela just so that she agrees, but I know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I do too.
All right.
So, yeah.
We're good. We're locked in.
All right. They're locked in. So
I knew his first name too.
Nick, you can talk about it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
Or
Matt,
her.
this would be.
Or
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I believe, so a little bit of backstory. I was a band geek for a very, very long time, played the trombone and most of the brass instruments. I now currently serve as the band officer for my cadet unit. And I believe that this is Antonio Vivaldi.
Okay.
That's right. We also know his first name.
Maybe not. We'll find out in a second. All right. And Carmel and Jonathan.
Yeah, you can hear pieces of it in advertisements all the time. K Jewelers uses the winter section, or at least they did for a long time in the 2000s.
He wrote Every Kiss Begins with K?
Yeah. I was just gonna say that.
Absolutely.
Two things done by the same person that you don't really know.
That's the winter portion of Four Seasons. But yeah, it's Vivaldi, 100%.
All right. And the answer is Antonio Vivaldi. Well done, both teams.
Hooray.
All right.
Yay.
Your
team.
second question in round 5 is in movies.
Movies.
And the question is, in the movie The Matrix, what color pill does Neo take?
Oh.
Oh my.
We're locked in.
All right.
No. All right. It's either the green or the purple pill, right?
Yeah, you betcha. Yeah. Oh,
Which one did he take, Matt?
I don't know. Oh God, I want to say he takes the red pill because I think the blue pill was the one where you wake up back in your bed the next morning and nothing's happened. But I do not remember it all. Oh no!
You can take the blue pill and wake up tomorrow as if nothing had ever happened, or you could take the red pill and gain understanding. Is that what he says?
Something like that. Yeah.
Have you thought about chartreuse?
Mauve. It's mauve.
Puce.
It's the periwinkle. Red. You take the red pill. You take the red pill.
Red. Yeah.
You take the red pill. It's the red pill. It's absolutely the red pill.
Okay, so what's your final answer, Nick?
I don't know.
Green.
No, red.
Green. Going with green.
Red. He takes the red pill. We'll lock it in with red. Red pill.
All right, Carmela and Jonathan.
So there's a line that Joe Pantoliano says in the movie, and it's when Neo comes out and he's kind of looking around. He's like, I know what you're thinking. Why, oh, why didn't I take the blue pill? QAnon people like to appropriate the phrase being red pilled, but yeah, he absolutely took a red pill.
All right, the answer is red pill. Well done, both teams. And I had no idea about the QAnon thing, Carmela. So that's you dropped some knowledge on me.
Yeah, a lot of your alt-right
red
people.
Pill this, red pill that, all the time.
Yeah,
because you've been lulled to sleep by the media and the blah 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 blah.
It's not.
I hear you, but I try
people.
I try to stay away from their crap. So
yeah.
Well, that's what you get for, being on social media all the time, Carmela.
Your third and final question, round 5, is brought to you by Scott Barber. So thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
And because Scott said this, I have absolutely okay to say it. Because this is a Scott Barber question, I'm posting it in the chat because it's so dang long. Scott was proud of me because he was like, wow, a question I'm going to ask later on. He's like, that's about the same size of a question I ask. Anyway, so your Scott Barber question is in world history. World history. And the question is, the shortest war in recorded history was 38 minutes long and took place on August 27th, 1896 between the United Kingdom and what East African Muslim state? No word on if Billy Joel had a tab there at that time.
Yep, locked in.
Locked in?
That was rather quick.
Carmela, the Billy Joel clue, maybe I'm thinking of Billy Joel songs. Piano Man, piano keys are made of ivory. It could be Ivory Coast.
Cote d'Ivoire. Is Cote d'Ivoire on the East Coast?
Nope, it's on the West Coast.
Yeah, so it's not Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay. On the East Coast, you have Djibouti. You have Eritrea.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You have Mozambique. You have South Africa. You have Madagascar.
Well, it just says East African, so it doesn't necessarily have to be coastal.
All right, so then you have Ethiopia, Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan, Rwanda, Uganda.
Did Billy Joel sing?
Vienna is not in Africa.
No, Vienna's not in Africa. Leningrad is not in Africa.
Not in Africa.
Allentown?
Eswatini. Eswatini is on the eastern side.
Do we think that's it?
No. I don't get the clue.
Yeah. I mean, Cote d'Ivoire would be great if it was on the east side of Africa.
Everything's on the east side if you hold the globe the right way.
Shut up, Nick.
East. So also Muslim is important, right? There's lots of African countries that are not Muslim.
Correct. So this makes me think it's northeast Africa.
I agree.
Could it be Sudan? Russians in it, or
Okay.
Is there a line in "We didn't start the fire" about Sudan?
Let's think about it here.
Harry Truman, Doris Day.
No, shut up, Nick. It's not at the end of it.
No.
What's the first line in it so that I can get started?
Nick,
I'd tell you, but you'd yell at me to shut up.
Shut up, Nick. Harry Truman, Doris Day,
Joe DiMaggio.
All right, guys. I'm going to throw you out of the chat if you talk while we're thinking.
The returning Studebaker Television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. I listened to the Billy Joel station that they had for like 2 months at the beginning of the year, and I can't remember anything now.
Ayatollahs.
In Iran.
Ayatollahs is in there. In Iran, Russians in Afghanistan.
Right, neither of those are in Africa.
I think we might be going the wrong boat here.
We could be. That might be why I was thinking about Sudan, because it rhymes.
30 seconds, y'all.
Billy Joel had Moving Out. He had Always a Woman. He had Allentown, New York State of Mind. He had Vienna, he had lots and lots of songs. Uptown Girl.
Still rock and roll to me. I mean, none of these are countries. That's why it made me think it's got to be, and we didn't start the fire.
Look,
but,
we can say Sudan, but we're not feeling good about it.
Yeah, just to have an answer, we'll say Sudan.
Okay. Matthew and Nick.
Go for it.
Seem to recall this from my social studies teacher. God, my social studies teacher was awesome, Mr. Andrews. But I seem to recall it was estimated between 35 and like 45 minutes. And it was because the Sultan died under suspicious deaths or something. And the British came in to basically start a war, and they came in with like gunboats and a destroyer or something against a couple of artillery pieces. And I believe that was the country of Zanzibar, which I don't know a whole lot about Billy Joel, but I think that's the actual name of the song.
Oh, Freddie Mercury would have been a great clue for that if it is Zanzibar.
This is a really good clue, too, because it says African Muslim state, not country. Zanzibar is not a country. It's an island above Madagascar.
And the British were heavily involved in Zanzibar.
The answer is, in fact, Zanzibar. Zanzibar is on Billy Joel's 52nd Street album.
Very good.
So, yep. All right. After 5 rounds, Nick and Matthew have really taken a commanding lead with 167. Carmela and Jonathan have 117. I'm going to go
in.
I'm trying not to.
A commanding lead.
I can't root for Nick. You guys are making me sad because I can't root for Nick. By the way, they have yet to miss one question except for one in the midpoint. They've run through this.
You can root for Nick. I do it all the time. There's nothing wrong with it.
You root for him? You legitimately root for Nick? Wow.
Despite popular belief, I actually like Nick. No one else seems to.
That's one. I got one.
We got one. God. There's a team Nick, and it's Carmela.
That's right.
Sarah's not even on Team Nick.
She's not.
Wow. Definitely not.
Sarah's Banner Team Carmela.
Sarah's 100% Team Chris.
Well, there you go.
I would just like to shout out.
Thank you.
The partnerships that I have lucked out so well with my partners, because last game I had Aaron. The game before that I had another guy who he and I complemented each other perfectly. So like, yeah, Kit, this is awesome.
It's almost like she's extremely good at what she does.
That's right. So it's round 6, and the question 1 is in science.
Science!
And your question is, found in the ear, what is the name of the smallest and lightest bone in the human body?
Yeah, that word.
Yeah, we can lock in.
All right, Matt and Nick, you can talk it through.
It's either the hammer, the anvil, or the stirrup. Those are the 3 bones of the inner ear. I would guess it's the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. And the worst part is I should know this. Well, I used to be an industrial paramedic, so you always had to be careful of ear injuries.
Okay,
that's a heck of a title. That's a heck of a title, by the way.
What, industrial paramedic?
Yes, I've never heard of that. So.
Oh yeah, so I didn't work for the state or anything. I worked for a private company doing random work out on like a high tension construction project or something like that. So that's why, because paramedics usually associate with like working for the state.
Okay, got it.
Hammer and anvil seem like the 2 of the larger. You go in order of size, right? The hammer would be biggest, the anvil would be middle, and the stirrup is the smallest.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that because, like I say, I honestly no idea.
Okay, I feel good about that. I mean, perfect. I don't know it, but I feel good about it, and we locked in.
Absolutely.
All right, Carmela and Jonathan.
All powerful Stapies.
I immediately sent Carmela a message, said states, right?
Yeah,
said
the Stapies.
All right, so your answer is the stirrup or the Stapies.
All right.
Nice,
so
Nick.
Both answers are correct.
Yeah, I think that's our 4th or 5th coin toss that we've gone right on.
Yeah.
So excellent work.
Just to let you know, it's in the middle ear, Nick. Just to let you know, so it's in the middle part of the ear. Your next question in round 6 is in food and love.
Food and love.
Miso paste is the flavoring used in some Japanese cooking. What is the primary ingredient in miso paste?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I should know it. My wife cooks with it a lot.
I was gonna say I'm this is another one of those ones that I'm thinking it through because I feel like I should know it. Yeah. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that enough? Okay.
All right, we're locked in.
Carmela, just to be clear, it's not. This might be a really stupid thing. It's not tofu, is it?
It's not tofu, but I can see why you would think that. But yeah, I've done a lot of Asian inspired cooking over the last few years, and I feel like this is fermented soy and salt is primarily what miso paste is. So it would be soy. Okay, so we're gonna say soy.
All right, and I will need I'll need more information from you guys.
Soybeans.
Okay. All right. And okay, thank you. That's perfect. Matthew and Nick, what do you got?
We also said soy, at which point Chris said, I'm going to need a little bit more information. So we said soybeans.
You have soy, ask Dora?
All right, my bad. I probably could have just left with soy, but just to make sure. So
totally
anyway,
fine.
The answer is soybeans. Well done, both teams.
Hooray!
Huzzah! And your final question before the gauntlet. Your category is in firsts. And the question is, beginning on May 20th, 1932, from what two countries did Amelia Earhart fly from and to, becoming the first woman to fly nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean?
You're looking for the countries?
Yes, I need the countries, please.
Yeah, that seems right, Nick. I'm okay with that.
Okay, we're locked in.
Yeah, okay.
So, Carmela, we're talking about whether or not it's mainland to mainland or if maybe I'm wondering, because if you're trying to cross the Atlantic and there's a little bit of worry over, hey, this is a very long way, make this as short as possible, you wouldn't go from mainland U.S. to France or somewhere like that. You would go from somewhere like the Bahamas or some island nation over to perhaps Morocco or Spain or Portugal.
Right.
Even. So I'm worried about that, and I might be in the totally wrong direction here. Something is niggling at my brain saying islands.
Okay.
And I just don't have any kind of... It's just in the back of my brain, but it's not a good thought yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because then it's trying to figure out what island, Are we going down to the Caribbean? Are we, going a little further up? Or, what?
And also... The U.S. is on a tilt. The whole, not just the U.S., North America is tilted this way. Hell, if you want to get closest transatlantic flight would be from somewhere in Canada to the UK.
Right.
Or,
I mean, it's very possible.
Actually, I don't hate Canada now that I say that.
Because it is smaller up. I mean, it would be a shorter distance up there.
Okay. Musicals. Come From Away. Gander Airport. Newfoundland. They talk about before there were jet planes, everybody had to fly from Newfoundland and Gander Airport to get across the sea, that everybody would stop there, such as Muhammad Ali, the Queen, blah, blah, blah.
Makes sense.
So that feels like Canada might be a top good answer there.
Okay, so where did she go then? Did she go to the UK? Did she go to France? Because, I mean, from that point, going to Morocco wouldn't make the most sense.
Would not be smart. Yeah, I agree. Do you have any Earhart in France information that would take us away from somewhere like the UK or Spain or Portugal?
No, which is what first came to mind, which means it's very possible it came somewhere from something I read when I was, 10. But
I feel like Lindbergh flew to France.
Okay.
And that might be a reason why it's in there. Two countries. I'd like to say Canada, and it is open for debate on what other country, honestly. 30 seconds. If you want to say France, I won't fight it.
Okay, let's go Canada and France.
All right.
Matthew and Nick.
I was fairly certain that she took off from one of the easternmost points in Newfoundland, so I think it's Trepassey Bay, or I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. And I'm pretty sure she landed in Great Britain. And those were our answers initially, and Chris said he needed more information, and that's when Nick came in with his side of the answer.
Yeah, I think the last episode I hosted was an episode or two ago. I asked a question about Amelia Earhart's Hawaii to Oakland trip. And while I was doing that, While I was doing that, I had researched the transatlantic flight, decided to go the U.S. one instead. And yeah, South Wales, I believe, is where they landed. So Chris said
Wales?
Chris said Great Britain wasn't good enough. And I'm like, well, then it's a good thing that I know she landed in Wales, because otherwise we're going to be screwed. So,
Damn,
yeah,
Wales makes
Canada,
this a super hard question, regardless of where you think she took off from.
Yeah. And Lindbergh was New York to Paris. So
okay. That's probably where the
yeah.
France thing is coming from for me.
All right. Please hold for just a minute. I'm just verifying I'm just doing a fact check real quick.
South Wales is in Australia, for the record, Nick.
No, it's New South Wales.
Yes. Oh, well. Well, I'm sure they say South Wales.
That's the Jonathan. The other thing, while he's looking that up, that I will never forget is that the transatlantic flight, the type of plane that Amelia Earhart flew in was a Fokker.
Fokker.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
What about me?
That'll
Greg?
be stuck in my head.
Can you
forever.
milk me?
Yeah.
Okay. My apologies for the delay on that. I had some bad information, so I'm going to have to update that on the thing. But she flew from Newfoundland, Canada. So well done to both teams for getting that part out.
Damn, we got there, Carmela. We got there.
Pronounced Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Yes.
Come
I'm sorry.
from away, got
You're
me
right.
there.
Newfies.
Yes. And
Come on, I'm the only Canadian on. Come on.
True story. And after 21 hours, she landed in Wales. So
I mean, which whale?
Flew. Sperm?
Yeah.
Sperm?
Wow.
Narwhal.
Narwhal.
Obviously, so he said Wales. He said Wales, so it was a pod. But what country, Chris?
Right.
Oh, goodness.
Carmela, because it was Wales, I don't feel bad. We weren't getting Wales.
Well, in all fairness, if I had the correct information, UK would have been just fine. So going into the gauntlet, which I'm sure those three answers are correct. So those things are fine. So it is 197 for Matthew and Nick. They've only missed one midpoint. 197, and Carmela and Jonathan have 137.
It's a perfectly cromulent score.
It really cromulent? Wow.
Yeah, we are perfectly
Fancy
cromulent.
words. Fancy words. All right. Your gauntlet category is our house is a very, very, very fine house.
The whole, all the words?
No, just main thing you need to be thinking about is houses.
Okay.
House.
Something I will never be able to afford.
Paste the score, please.
You got it, my friend.
Yeah.
And
You come
also
stay one of mine, Carmela.
Well, hey, if you're offering,
You're welcome at the beach house whenever you want.
Ooh.
I've been there for 3 weeks. He doesn't know.
He's also been in Nick's basement too for 3 weeks, and he didn't know. So
No, I'm in my basement.
You know how hard it is to hide? Yeah, hey guys, we're breaking in. We have to break in because there is a score correction. Nick and Matthew are not as good as they think they are. They don't have 197. They have 187.
Not even
because Chris's original answer of Amelia Earhart flying from Newfoundland, Canada to Northern Ireland is the correct answer for the flight where she was nonstop and alone. So there are 10 points being deducted from the Livingstone Groves team, and we are moving forward with the gauntlet now.
Yep, and they landed in Culmore, Northern Ireland. So rework your wagers at 187 to 137. It's a 50-point difference. And Jonathan, I am sorry about that.
That happens.
That's Chris. You made exactly the same mistake I did when I read it through the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Was I looked at the header and I'm like, well, there's the information on the transatlantic flight.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I've been working all morning, so I'm trying to get my brain to work.
Sorry, you've been working. That sucks.
This really is the hardest part of the game.
All right, our wagers locked in.
That's the prudent bet.
Sounds good.
And we are nothing if not prudent here at Livingston Groves.
Okay. So, Nick, say the magic words then.
We are locked in.
So our house is a very, very fine house is the gauntlet. Here's your first question in the category of acting. Brilliant. Your question is, what British actor played the role of Dr. Gregory House on the TV series House?
Oh, I got Meow Meows.
Good, because I just immediately blanked.
I also have meow meows on that.
Oh, I totally
I'm sure
have.
you do.
Yeah.
If I had a time to think about it, I would. Too.
Yes.
Yes, that person.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
All right, so
We
you
used
both
to
are
love
locked
that
in?
show.
We are locked in.
Okay. Carmel and Jonathan, you as well?
Matthew discovered the trap or the trick to making me swing my hammer instead of thinking to allow for me to think longer.
Okay. Your next question in Our House is a Very, Very, Very Fine House gauntlet. The category is in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Uh-oh.
And the question is, who's the only former U.S. president to serve in the House of Representatives after his time as POTUS, or President of the United States? He served 9 terms as a representative from Massachusetts until his death in 1848. And thanks to Scott Barber for helping me write that question.
All right, Carmela, I feel good about that. Let's lock that in.
Yep.
You're okay with that, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna lock in as well.
And then finally, in your Our House is a Very, Very, Very Fine House gauntlet, categories in famous houses. And the question is, Julia Morgan was the talented architect that designed what media publisher's California estate?
You're good with that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Then we're locked in.
All right.
How many media publishers can you name? Pulitzer, Hearst, Kane.
Yeah, which is still more than I've got. CBC is the only thing I've got.
Right.
All
We
right.
are locked in.
Okay, everybody's
Not
locked
locked
in. Let's go ahead and find some answers for him. So the first question is, what British actor played the role of Dr. Gregory House on the TV series House? Matthew and Nick, what was your answer?
I had Hugh Laurie, used to be one of my favorite shows. He's hilarious. I love him even in Jeeves and Wooster, if you've ever watched him there. But his comedy chops are great.
All right. And Carmel and Jonathan.
As soon as you said what British actor played Dr. I was like, it's Hugh Laurie.
Big fan of his work in Stuart Little.
I can, every time I'm asked a question about that, I know the answer. I know who Hugh Laurie is. And the only thing that ever comes to mind is, shoot, it's Stephen Fry's comedy partner.
Yeah, a little bit of Brian Laurie.
and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know his name. I know his name. Anytime anybody asks me for it, it immediately runs away. Every time.
I saw The Night Manager a few years ago, and he actually plays a really good bad guy. Like,
Oh,
really
yeah.
convincingly
He
bad.
really
A good
He
bad
can
guy.
be very dark.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And your second question in the House, for lack of a better term, the House Gauntlet is, who is the only former U.S. president to serve in the House of Representatives after his death as a POTUS, or President of the United States? He served 9 terms as a representative from Massachusetts until his death in 1848. Carmel and Jonathan.
I gave Jonathan a very small civics lesson as far as how long a House of Representatives term is, which helped us work backwards using Jonathan's fantastic presidential knowledge.
It is scary how much he knows.
Yeah,
I know.
to 1830, which brought us to John Quincy Adams.
Okay, and we have the estate of Groves and Livingston. So
Yeah.
Livingstone Groves. Come on.
Livingston Groves. I'm sorry, you're right. My apologies.
That math would be correct if he immediately left the White House to serve in the President of the United States and didn't take a gap in between. So yeah, that math would have been very good. The answer we came up with, however, was John Quincy Adams.
Such a
beep. All right, and the final question.
Carmela, I swear, I was like, God, I hope he gave it to somebody else. That'd be the best freaking thing.
Yeah, my original answer was first president to leave the White House and serve, and I'm like, oh, it's Taft, and then he's like, and he died in 1848. I'm like, it's definitely not Taft.
Taft also
like,
Supreme Court, not legislature.
Yeah.
I went, oh God, 1848. That means he had been one of the first 10, right? And Matt goes, it's John Quincy Adams. Just
Thank goodness the Canadian might have helped you out there.
yeah, with his presidential knowledge.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly. My very limited presidential knowledge.
Your final question in the gauntlet was, Julia Morgan was the talented architect that designed what media publisher's California estate? Matt and Nick, what did you got?
Give her, Nick.
We went through and named all the publishers we could name, and after we got through the 2 actual ones and the 1 fictional one, we ended up with Hearst Mansion, Hearst Castle, Hearst.
Okay. And Jonathan and Carmela.
I threw out the first publisher I could think of, and Jonathan supplied the rest for me.
I've driven past it on the Pacific Coast Highway. It's Hearst.
So here are your answers. So in acting, the actor that played Gregory House was in fact Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie. Well done to both teams. The president that we were talking about that died in 1848 was in fact Mr. John Quincy Adams. And finally, the California estate, more like a castle, it is William Randolph Hearst. Hearst Castle is what we were talking about. Both teams got it right. Let's find out about the wagers. So Carmela and Jonathan.
I mean, we knew that if they have a lead and they get it right, that they're going to lock us out. And that's pretty much all there is to do. So we understood that. We were hoping that they would miss it. And they didn't. We wagered 37 like Nick projected. We knew we didn't have a chance to get ahead of you. We could have bet more than that, but it would have given us less of a chance to win than actually betting for you to miss it. So we bet 37.
Matt and Nick, what did you guys think about?
I did a lot of bad math, and then I had some. And then after Matt fixed my math, I did a lot of bad theory crafting. And then after talking about out loud about it and having everybody laugh at me about my theory crafting, I said, "Screw you guys! This is why I don't pick what we wager on my team." And then Matt came up with a real number.
Yeah, and my real number. So I was going to bet for the lockout because I thought that was the best choice. Because if they were betting to even get us, if we got the lockout, they would have bet enough. But regardless, we bet 88.
All right, they went with the famous Back to the Future score. So with the total of 200, where is it? There it is, 275 to 174. Your winners of Trivial Warfare 470 is Matthew and Nick. Well done, both of y'all.
Good job, guys. Woo!
Nick, why are you shaking your head no?
Because I'm bad at, I told you, I said earlier, I am not a mathemologist.
Chris is giving the answer that your score sheet provides when he puts the numbers in, and you're like, nope, that's oh. Well, maybe it's right.
Sarah's been in California for a week. We had a sleepover last night. I had four kids here for a sleepover last night. I ended up finally losing it on them at like 4 a.m. And I haven't slept. And then they got up this morning, and then it's been a long day.
I bet it has. What does Nick going off on them at 4 in the morning sound like?
Did you see Oppenheimer?
Get out of my BB!
Oppenheimer. Holy crap. Oh my gosh.
Better or worse than that?
This is one of the you're never welcome in this house ever again. You're gonna sleep out on the street.
I don't care if you're 7.
Not the other kids. The kids that aren't mine, I'm very nice to those kids. But Asher was gonna go sleep in the literal dog.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's okay if Asher lives in the doghouse. Your doghouse is bigger than my apartment. You'll be fine.
I'm not the one moving into a yard with peacocks.
That's true. I am moving into a yard with peacocks. I'm very happy about this.
In all fairness, there's peacocks all over the place up in the north side of town. So
it's a lot. It's a lot more fun just assuming Jonathan's moving into Versailles.
Except I have to evict all the French people, which usually causes wars.
Right.
All right. Well, that was actually a hell of a game. Y'all did fantastic. What a performance. Well done. Good job. Before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout outs and promote causes that they care about. Matthew, everybody is you.
True story.
Well, first off, I'd just like to thank you guys for having me on again. It's always a blast. I love coming on this podcast. It's always so much fun. I feel like part of the regular crew with having Jonathan, Chris, Carmela, and Nick on. I feel like royalty. It's awesome. Yeah, just want to shout out my trivia podcast again, Bathroom Break Trivia. Come join me on the Facebook group, or it's on pretty much every podcatcher. And I always like to leave with a final thought. Normally, I promote heart health and stuff like that because I do have a heart condition. But I think today I want to promote go rescue a pup. You see so many pets that are being surrendered after COVID and things like that, and all the shelters are full. So instead of shopping, go rescue one. Like I say, you've never seen love like you've seen when you've rescued a pet. So I can't state that enough.
There you go.
And remember, go take a leak and listen.
That's right. Go take a leak and listen.
Chris, you're kind of a guest. Do you want to do any shout outs?
I Just appreciate y'all and appreciate being back on the show for a little bit. Thank you for asking me back on, Jonathan.
Absolutely, brother. Glad to have you. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap us up. So for Matthew, for Nick, for Carmela, and Chris, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 470 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Amelia Earhart article.
Yeah, and we're both wrong.
No, you're right.
Yes.
You were right. I was wrong.
Yeah, we need to do a Jonathan. I've been reading the same thing. I need to do a scoring update because they were wrong.
Seriously?
Yeah.
She flew I did a very quick double check. She flew over with someone on 1928 and went from Newfoundland to Wales. I said it wrong, to Wales. She did it solo on 1932, like I did it asked in the question, and landed in Northern Ireland.
Right. So it has the Wikipedia article, because this is the same article I was reading when I did the other question. It says transatlantic flight in 1928. After Charles Lindbergh did his whatever, she went from Newfoundland to Wales.
Yeah.
And then when you scroll like another 10 scrolls down the article, it's transatlantic solo flight.
Yeah. And
I'm
at the National Air and Space Museum website and reading that. And so.
Right.
Yeah. Because she landed in Derry, North Ireland.
Right. She was intending to go back to Wales, but didn't make it and had to land in Northern Ireland.
So, Jonathan, I'm very sorry about that. But anyway, but they don't get points for that.
Yeah.
No.
But it's a very misleading heading.
My name's Jonathan, and I'm about to yawn.
And he didn't even have a house full of kids yesterday.
Yeah. I had a nightmare. I woke up early.
Oh no!
What was I saying? Oh yes,
nightmare you had.
My name's
It's not
Jonathan.
just trivia; it's war. Blah blah blah.